Hello and welcome to today's class. So today we'll be dealing on differentiation. So what is differentiation? Differentiation is the alteration or change in one variable or parameter in relation to another variable or parameter. So differentiation is the alteration or change in one variable or parameter in relation to another variable or parameter. Now take for instance, we have here y and we have here x. So under y we have price of goods. And under x we have time and place. Under y we also have petrol levels. And under x we have amount of usage. Now, so for price of goods, take for instance, if you buy a phone in Nigeria for 50,000 naira, if you go to US, you can't find that phone for same price. So the price of the phone depends on the place. And also, if you buy a phone today, in 5 years' time, the price of the phone will not remain the same. So the price of the phone or the goods depends on the time. Now, so let's move over to petrol level. If you buy a new car and then fill up that car with fuel such that the tank gets full, if you ride that car from point A to point B, the level of the petrol reduces as a result of the amount of usage. So now the level of petrol depends on the amount of usage of the car. So y depends on x. So we could say y is a function of x. Mathematically, y equals f of x. Now, whenever you see delta y, it means change in y. And then whenever you see delta y all over delta x, it means change in y with respect to change in x. Now let's look at the methods of differentiation. There are different methods of differentiation. So the first method of differentiation is general method. The second method of differentiation is first principle method. And then the third method of differentiation is chain rule or function of a function or function of several functions. So the fourth method of differentiation is product rule, while the fifth method of differentiation is quotient rule. The sixth method of differentiation is implicit rule. But for this class, we will be focusing on general method alone. Now, so general method. Now, so y equals f of x. Now, so assuming f of x equals x raised to the power of n, that means y equals x raised to the power of n. Now, so let's find dy all over dx, or you could say differentiate y in respect to x. Now, this is how general method works. You multiply x by the power and then subtract 1 from the power. What do I mean? N multiplied by x. N is the power of x. And then raised to power n minus 1. You multiply x by the power and subtract 1 from the power. Now let's take an example. Example 1. If y equals x raised to power 4, find dy all over dx, or differentiate y with respect to x. So dy all over dx using general method is this. You multiply x by the power, which is 4 multiplied by x, and then subtract 1 from the power. Now, so we have dy all over dx equals 4x raised to power 3. 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay, let's solve another example. Example 2. If y equals x raised to power 5 minus 6x raised to power 4 plus 4x raised to power 3 minus 2x plus 7, find dy all over dx. Now, so dy all over dx equals, you multiply x by the power, which is 5x, and then subtract 1 from the power, which is 5 minus 1, minus, you multiply x by the power, which is 4 multiplied by 6x, and then subtract 1 from the power, which is 4 minus 1, plus, you multiply x by the power, which is 3 multiplied by 4x, subtract 1 from the power, which is 3 minus 1, minus, here we have 2x raised to power 1. So 1 multiplied by 2x, 1 minus 1, plus, since there is no x here, it becomes 0. Now, so if you are to differentiate a number that does not have x with respect to x, it is 0. Now, so dy all over dx equals 5x raised to power 5 minus 1 is 4. So we have 5x raised to power 4 minus 4 multiplied by 6 is 24. x raised to power 4 minus 1 is 3, plus 3 multiplied by 4 is 12x raised to power 3 minus 1 is 2, minus 1 multiplied by 2x is 2x raised to power 1 minus 1 is 0, plus 0. Now, if you look at this, you would see that we have negative 2x raised to power 0. Now, according to the zeroth law of indices, anything raised to power 0 is 1. So, x here becomes 1. So, we have dy all over dx equals 5x raised to power 4 minus 24x raised to power 3 plus 12x raised to power 2 minus 2 open bracket 1 plus 0. So this one is the x that is raised to power 0. Remember, I told you that anything raised to power 0 is 1 according to the zeroth law of indices. Now, so dy all over dx equals 5x raised to power 4 minus 24x raised to power 3 plus 12x raised to power 2 minus 2 multiplied by 1 is 2 plus 0. So this is how general method works.